Hi. So I'm about to start a painting that I was hired to do, and I decided to make a video to show you the process from beginning to end. Although I don't really like talking about what I do when I paint, it just feels boring to me. I get a lot of stuff going through my head. That's why after filming 15 hours of me painting this project, I decided to break it down in 14 chapters in 20 minutes. Welcome in my head. Like and sub.
Your alarm is set for 9:30.
It's important to have a hobby. A hobby that is not for money. This is one of the hard things that I have to deal with in my life is everything I do is to make a living or has become my living. Was tattooing for fun. This was my dream, so became a tattoo artist. Then I started painting and I started selling painting. I was like, oh, okay, I can make money with that too. But then everything becomes work. You don't have a hobby anymore. I think this is where, when I do my bouldering, comes into play. It's stuff that really takes my mind off of things. And I think that's very important. Listen, I'm not bitching about being able to make a living out of it. Is it a hobby when people are kind of telling you what to do? I'm doing my creation. This is my painting. But at the end of the day, if I feel like doing a bird today, I can't. I have to do a dog because that's what they asked for. I made myself a powder pouch. I don't sew. It's not something that I know a little bit how to do it because my grandmother taught me when I was a kid, but nah, I'm no professional. But it took me 4 hours, and usually I see these things as a waste of time. Like I could be painting, I could be working on a video, whatever. And when I decided to do that thing, completely lost track of time. And that felt great. It hasn't happened in a long time. I get that too when I climb. Sneezing with a palette in your hand is not a good thing. I don't know, it's because I have a cold or... You know, you're sneezing and then you want to get back to what you're doing, but you can't. I want to see the brush strokes. I want to see that it's a human that did it. I will make a video about AI because I think it's quite interesting. People are so scared that it's gonna replace artists. I truly believe that that's not gonna happen for the sole reason you don't see brush strokes. It's too clean. That's the charm of a painting is to have the brush strokes. Gives it a little human side, gives it a little bit of emotion. It's gonna be 20 years that I opened my shop. I always told myself that after 20 years I wouldn't close. As a gift from me to me. And just move on, do something else. I envy people that do the same thing for their whole life without questioning it. I can't just do one thing. It's just impossible for me. But again, I thought I found that thing that I wanted to do, which was tattooing. And I always said I'm gonna be tattooing for the rest of my life. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love tattooing. I'm not quitting anytime soon. If there's one thing you could do for the rest of your life right now, what would it be? I'm still in the same mood that I was this afternoon. I would just watch a movie, which I think I will be doing. And then I feel guilty because I tell myself I should be working. Insane. This feeling of never doing enough. It's very present in my life, unfortunately. I never feel like I'm doing enough. I think I'm close to that point right now, needing a little bit of a recharge. I haven't had a vacation for a long time. I met this woman at the park. I was walking my dog and her kids wanted to play with Mr. Ori. It took her about 2 seconds to tell me that my dog, when he's gonna die, he's going to heaven. This woman was telling me that I should open my heart to Jesus and all that stuff. I felt her, she seemed really happy, but she seemed also a little bit crazy, trying to convince me of something. Like, it's okay, live your life the way you want. Your way, it's not everyone else's way. If you think about it, it's actually kind of mean to tell someone that you're never gonna be happy unless they get into your religion. Anyway, we got into talking and we're talking about death. A lot of people have passed in my life. I'm no stranger to death. or death is no stranger to me, or the people that died. You know what I mean. I always said that when you're crying for someone who passed, it's very selfish because you don't get to see them anymore, which is fine. I think there's some sort of selfishness that is okay. Was trying to argue with me that it's not selfish to be crying for someone's death, that because it was tragic. But again, if you're a Christian, why would you say that death is tragic? Aren't you supposed to be happy that you're going to see your Savior and you're going to heaven? I think it's Gandhi that says everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Dying is not tragic. It could be a tragic way of dying. You get into an accident and you're quadriplegic. Yes, this is tragic. There's tragic ways to die, but I don't think that dying on itself is tragic. Anyway, what I was saying is that it was kind of selfish to be crying. She did not appreciate that whatsoever. And again, I respect everyone's choices. And you can have the belief that you want. It just feels like that the Jesus people have a resurgence right now. You must believe in Christ, or else I believe there's a higher power while we're living, and we can tap into that higher power, either to better ourselves, to do good, even do bad. I'd rather believe in myself, in my capacities to be as good as a human that I can be, help other people, love other people. Because at the end of the day, the basis of religions are pretty much the same. Aime ton prochain, love your neighbor, do good, don't steal, don't be an asshole. It's all good things. So why would you have to believe a religion in order to be a good person, in order to be saved, like they say? I remember my used-to-be neighbor told me that if I give my life to Jesus Christ, I'll be granted eternal life. Who the hell says I would want to live forever? If I want to live forever, it would be my life that I have now. Why does heaven needs to be that something that it's only after X amount of years that you spent here on earth that you get to experience? Why would your life be that testing of, let's see how good you could be as a human, and then we'll see what you could do in the afterlife? You know what I mean? It's just strange to me. I got too many questions that nobody can answer. And I do trust the flow of the universe. It's something I remind myself every day. And please don't be offended if you're really into religion. That's the thing, you know, everybody's entitled to what they believe in. This I will make a full episode on that though, the red pillars, like Andrew Tate and all these guys, the alpha males. I find this so fascinating. Some people are saying that, you know, like these young men, they need a male figure in their life, and usually it's going to be guys that maybe didn't have a dad are going to watch these dudes work hard, have big abs, big chest. You're better because you have more money than everybody else. You're saying to a whole generation, if you're not a millionaire by 30 years old, you're a fucking idiot. That's crazy. And a lot of these young people are starting to believe that. I believe there's going to be a lot of unhappy people in the next generations to come. People that are going to follow these advices. This coffee date thing, when I saw the videos, I almost thought it was a joke.
I don't do coffee dates, don't do walking dates. You have to book very fine dining.
I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked.
When I do choose to go on a date, I want you to feed me.
So I do not accept coffee dates from men.
If somebody wants to do coffee as a first date, this is somebody who goes on a lot of first dates, or they're very cheap.
How am I supposed to want to go spend like 4 hours with you on a dinner date if I don't even know you? If you meet someone online and you expect people to go all out for you right away, it's a little bit crazy, don't you think? I just feel like it's a lot to ask for someone you don't know. I personally wouldn't want to date a woman that thinks that way, which no, she wouldn't want to date me anyway, so it's a win-win situation. Don't you think that if you wait a little bit, you can meet a true gentleman? You know, if he gives you everything in the first date, after that, everything will seem so... If it's not always at 100%, you're never gonna be happy. That's what I would be scared of, not being able to make you happy, you know, in everyday life. If that's your expectation of our first date, what do I have to do for your birthday? And this woman, like she was saying that, imagine if he cheaps out on the first date, what it's gonna be at Christmas and your birthday. You're not even with the guy. And you're already thinking about him giving you shit at your birthday. That is completely insane. I saw this clip that this girl was saying that she was practicing. She was going on a date with a guy she didn't really like. And her friend asked her, why would you do that? And she was saying that dating is like a sport. You needed to practice in order to be good at dating. It was kind of a discipline to date. We hear that on social media. It doesn't make me want to go out and date whatsoever. Because I don't even know if it's a real date or you're just practicing dating with me. That's actually quite horrible to do that. This guy like genuinely likes you and you're like, well, I'm gonna practice shot with you. And the guy is just paying dinners for nothing. Yeah, it's very strange to me. This no coffee date thing and just right away thinking about money and how much this guy is willing to spend on you the first time that they meet you. And if they don't want to spend, it's because they're cheap and they're not gonna treat you right. Oh, and also this, don't take me for a walk, I'm not a dog. Seriously. I'm not taking you for a walk. We're going for a walk. I'm not putting a fucking collar on you. Very, very strange to me, this new wave of dating etiquette. It's fine. I think these people find each other anyway. But if you're meeting someone and like in your head, it's to try to do this for the long run, a long-lasting relationship, why do you want that person to give their all right away? It's exactly like saying to a guy, I won't sleep with you the first night. You don't want to give your all to that person the first night because you're scared of what could happen if you give your all. Maybe that person's gonna take advantage of you. You don't want to be treated like an object. And that is super valid. So why, when it comes to men not wanting to give their all the first date, then it's not okay? Explain that to me. Expectations. People expect from everybody so much. I like having unfinished parts. Maybe it's because I'm too lazy to finish it. Who knows? That's what painting is all about. If you think it looks good, do it. Who cares what other people think? Yeah, that dating stuff is not easy if you want to be active in the dating world. Like the speed dating. I saw that in a video. The women were wondering and complaining, where were all the men at those events, single meetup, and they were saying like it's only women that goes there. I mean, at the end of the day, most guys, they know they're gonna get rejected. Like it seems right now that the women's are all fighting for the same 1%. A guy that makes minimum in the 6th digit is 6 foot tall. That's gonna take care of all of her needs. Well, understandably, if you're a dude that goes online and you see all this stuff, might as well just stay home, you know, instead of going in a party where you're gonna get rejected in your face more than 100 times. And there's gonna be those 2 guys, 3 guys, or like 1% guy that are gonna get all the attention. It's the unfortunate reality. I still believe in that old-fashioned, just looking at someone, you think it's cute or whatever, and you know, give it a shot. Worst case scenario, they'll think you're a creep. Okay, you move along, that's it. But guys, don't be creeps. It's easy not to be a creep, seriously. But then again, you never know what kind of state of mind they are, right? So you might think, oh, I wasn't a creep, and she might think you were a creep. Or he might think that you were a creep. Girls can be creeps too. I've met my share of creepy women. This is not only a guy thing. No, at the end of the day, don't push it. You know, I think when it becomes creepy, when someone says no to you and you keep pushing, then you become creepy. You get a no, move on. It's fine. It's okay to get a no. Can't be everyone's cup of tea. I went to see a show with a friend not too long ago. Just like me, he quit drinking. We kind of stopped at the same time. It wasn't planned or anything, just happened that way. And we went to have dinner before show. It's the first time since I quit drinking that it was hard not to have a drink. All I could think about, I looked at it and I go like, are you having the same feeling? And he actually was. I think it's the first time that I put myself back in a situation in a restaurant, sitting at the bar with the chef in front of us. It was a great restaurant. It's called Kazoo, downtown Montreal, if you're ever in the area on St. Catherine. It was an amazing dinner. It's the first time in 2 years that I was like, wow, I might actually drink sake tonight. But then I tried to analyze why I want to drink. Like, why would I want to change my state of being right now? What is it that makes me want to drink? What makes you want to alter your perception of the reality that you're living? And I realized that it was just the fact that since I quit drinking, I've never put myself in a situation where this is when I used to drink, you know, it was a ritual that we used to do. Going to a restaurant, have a bottle of sake, good food. I love Japanese food. And once I kind of figured out why I wanted to drink, it kind of went away. Like I didn't think about it anymore. I was like, okay, well, there's no need to change the perception or alter the reality of what I'm living right now, because it was a great moment. I was with a friend chilling at a bar, eating great food. The chef was right in front of us, super cool guy. There were literally absolutely no reason to alter what I was living. So if you do feel like that sometimes, you know, you're wondering why I want to have a drink so much. I think that the question of why do I want to alter my reality right now is a great question to ask yourself. Once you figure that out, most likely you won't even want to have a drink. Yeah, 2 years without a drink. I never thought that this would have been a possibility in my life. And most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, I don't feel like having a drink. Completely out of my mind. But that night, I was very shocked. So I could say that it's contextual for myself. The power of the context is much stronger than we think. I don't remember where I read that, but if you take any addict out of their environment, it will be much easier for them to stop. Also, if you're having a hard time, you know, one thing you can do, and I found that it works well for a lot of people, instead of trying to quit, try to add to your life. Example, if you start working out, well, after a while, if you really stick to it, you will after a while notice that you'll start quitting bad habits just because it's not gonna be in line with your new choices. And I've seen some people do it lately. Some of my friends like quit smoking weed, quit smoking cigarettes, drink less. It all started by going to the gym. That's all they did. After a while going to the gym, well, you know, drinking every fucking day doesn't make sense. So he just added to his life and it kind of filtered the bad habits on its own. Quit trying to quit and just add good habits, you'll see. It'll make it easier. Oh, I watched the Nickelback documentary, Love to Hate, on Netflix. I'm gonna make a full video about, you know, gotta represent our Canadian band. They're not nearly as bad as people say they are, but I don't understand where the hate came from. Most people don't even know why they hate them. It's super interesting. I highly suggest you check it out. It's a cool rock band story. And if you don't like them, what you are absolutely allowed. Why the choice of not finishing it, you may ask? That's quite simple. Just thinks it looks good. There's absolutely no justification. I was tattooing a guy today and he was asking me what I was doing after the tattoo, so I told him I was gonna paint. And I was telling him what I was doing and he was asking me why. It was a lot of whys. I think in art, anything you do really, why is this gotta be always a why? Me, it's more of a why not. It looks good. I don't think much about it. I'm really happy on how this is turning out to be. I threw out my back and it's not fun. I'm having material trouble here. Okay. I can't even burp, my back hurts so much. I've been eating a lot of bad food for the past 2 weeks. Pasta, bread, sugar. So all my inflammations are back. Sugar is fucking poison, 100%. I am, however, starting a diet soon. I want to try the carnivore diet, not for ever, but I just want to give it a shot to see how I'm gonna feel after. I want to do it for a month. I'm gonna do it for a month. I hear it's great when you're inflamed, and I am an inflamed mess right now. Tell me what you think about this style video, just painting and shooting shit with you, talking about everything that comes to mind. Or should I take one subject, one painting, one video? If you want me to paint something, you can always suggest something to me. I think I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon.